Welcome back to the Macabre Academy. You found yourself in a dark corner. What?
How are you doing tonight?
So my co-host Kevin, if you're new here, has a cookie in his face.
I sure do.
And I'm Nerdy Witch, and this is our podcast, or some semblance of a podcast at this point.
Hey, sometimes you just gotta shove a cookie in your face.
Yeah, I was thinking of a good comeback to try to make cookie sound like cooter, and I couldn't think of one. Completely blanked. Just gone. Though in Girl Scouts, my nickname was the Cookie Monster.
So you could say your mind was shaved, if you will.
All right. So here we are. It's 15 minutes later for us, but it's a week later for all of you wonderful listeners out there.
All 6 of you at this point.
Pretty much.
Because why do you keep coming back?
Thank God, you know what you signed up for. Okay. You want to dive into the material? Let's
go.
Let's just dive in. Okay.
It's already 12:21. I'd like to be able to finish this sometime tonight.
That's fair. So this week on the Macabre Academy, we are covering the Mandela effect. Do you know anything about the Mandela effect?
I know there's a Google document around here somewhere.
Fantastic. Okay, so to explain the Mandela effect, if you already know what it is, we're going to start in the basis of psychology. I'm just going to start there. So there's something called a false memory, which is a phenomenon where a person recalls something thinking it happened, but it never did. And suggestibility can kind of activate false memories, and it can incorporate misinformation. It's suggested that like several mechanisms can cause different types of false memory phenomena. My favorite one is actually, have you ever watched Brain Games?
No.
Oh man, there's like this TV show that like demonstrates psychology using like demonstrations on the street and stuff. And my favorite is where they are sitting with somebody on a bench, and they're talking about being on a hot air balloon as a child. Like, oh, don't you remember when we did this? And the person has never been on a hot air balloon, but they remember vividly being on the hot air balloon by the suggestion that they were on one. So like,
okay.
yeah, it's crazy. You got to watch it. It's on Brain Games, I think it is. But memories are complex. So what you might imagine a memory as a black or white element, the truth is that it's subject to change, it's malleable, and it can be incredibly unreliable. So events are moved from your brain's temporary memory to permanent storage while you sleep. And the transition isn't absolute, and parts of the memory can be lost. And our brain does not like gaps. So we will fill those fuckers in. Sorry, sound made and I slapped my hands.
Someone say that slaps.
There's also like a false memory syndrome that can result from this, but I'll get into a little bit more about that later. So we're going to look at my buddy, whom I absolutely despise, which is Sigmund Freud.
I'm sorry, Sigmund Freud?
Yeah. Me and my therapist, yes, I have a therapist, we laugh when he brings up something from Sigmund Freud, and he goes, well, Freud would suggest, and then we both laugh because we know it's bullshit. Like, literally happens every time. But the phenomenon is that in the past, it was asserted that childhood, trigger warning right now. In the past, it was asserted that childhood sexual trauma invoked unconscious mechanisms of forgetting and the emergence of false memories. So there was there would be an issue of repression and recovered memories through hypnosis. And you can't really trust the unconscious mind. So they were finding that there were people who were genuinely victims of abuse, and it can manifest as denial, and there could be false memories resulting from that, like, oh no, he never did this to me, we went out and we went on a picnic. Like, they chose to block out that abuse and implanted a false memory as a defense mechanism. Does that make sense?
It does.
Yeah. Okay. We hate Freud so much.
Right.
So much.
Rod.
Yep. You know about the Oedipus complex he came up with?
I've heard of it, yes.
You want to recount what it is, or you want me to do it?
Can we just skip over it?
No.
Okay, then you do it.
Okay. The Oedipus complex is where you kill your father, marry your mother. Remember that?
We're not here to king shame.
Yep. But that complex that he came up with did more damage than good. And the whole reason he based his Oedipus complex as a legitimate scientific discovery was because he unearthed one of his own memories where he became attracted to his own mother because he remembered seeing her naked as a child. And what's crazy is there is no proof that this shit happened. Like, none. Freud actually wrote during a time where he was on a memory journey, like a train journey. And it was this long train journey that he deduced that he might have had the opportunity to see his mother naked. And then he speculated further that he might have been sexually aroused by an entire hypothetical situation.
Sound fair, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah, it had to be a false memory when you kind of put the pieces together. And he got away with this for a long time because it was so shocking. It was so revolutionary. But I swear to God, this is going to make more sense for the Mandela effect. I need you to understand the way the brain works. I'm umming. I hate Okay. In 1974, Elizabeth Loftus and John Palmer, they conducted a study to investigate the effects of language on the development of false memory. And this actually comes up in relation to eyewitness testimony in court. The experiment involved two separate studies where they would use leading questions to distort accounts from eyewitnesses. You know, where they'll go objection, leading the witness or whatever. That's what this is. Okay. So the two studies that they did all revolved around people being asked to estimate the speed of some cars using different forms of questions. Generally, people are bad at estimating speed, so they're more open to suggestion. So they would be like, how fast was that car going in relation to the other cars? Oh, it was going very quickly. How fast do you think that car was speeding? So now they're implanting the interpretation that it's speeding. So they're going to fill in the gap that it's speeding. So memories of an event are highly flexible.
Yes,
so,
they are.
Yeah. If you're exposed to new information during an interval between eyewitnessing an event and recalling it, that new information can have effects on what is recalled, and then the original memory can be permanently modified. So that gives you a bunch of legal issues too. Courts and legal cases, they've confined somebody, there's the wrongful, oh, my brain. There is a whole organization that tries to free people convicted to long-term prison sentences and things to crimes they never committed because they had false eyewitness testimony, and the eyewitness didn't even know that they were testifying. You know what I mean? They were so manipulated into giving a certain kind of testimony that they believed it to be true, and that was enough to commit somebody to permanent murder conviction. I can English. It's not happening very well right now, but
You fail English? That's impossible.
I know I'm so bad at it. So if you say like,
okay, this isn't an audio medium or anything.
Not at all. Yeah, this is bad. Okay. So this is an example of false memory for one person, right? I think I did a good job of setting that up. Despite my inability to convey basic sentences. When you have multiple...
You also went all robot there for a second.
Yeah, it was bad. I'm sorry. It's okay. We're only a couple minutes in. I can still save this. It's okay.
It's like, we're not starting over. It's too fucking late. What you get is what you get.
Pretty much. When multiple people experience a false memory, it's called the Mandela effect. So it's not just one person having a false memory. It's a collective. Do you know anything about Nelson Mandela?
I do know some things about Nelson Mandela. I was very sad when he passed away. He was wrongfully imprisoned in South Africa for right around 30 years.
27.
Like that.
Yeah, good guess. Or estimation. It wasn't a guess. It was an estimation.
And then when he got out when he was finally released, him and his wife got a divorce because apparently being married is harder than being in fucking jail.
That I didn't know. Didn't he have like 6 kids with that woman?
I don't know off the top of my head. But I do know that after he got released, he went home and then one of them filed for divorce.
Do you also know what happened when he got out of prison?
Wasn't that enough?
No, he was okay. So he went to prison in South Africa because of his protesting against the apartheid, which yes, we both know is segregation on steroids. And then, so he was in prison for 27 years for that. But once he was released, he was elected the first Black president from 1994 to 1999.
There you go.
Yeah. What's
and
crazy?
He got divorced.
He got divorced, right? So you remember him getting released from prison and getting this divorce. What sucks is countless people can remember that he died in prison in the 1980s. They will swear up and down Mandela died before he ever got out of prison, and that they remember the eulogy on TV and stuff. They remember seeing it on his TV. Like, they are adamant that he died in 80s, but he actually was freed in the 90s and passed away in 2013. So many people remember this incorrectly that it is now the title of this effect. The biggest ones that got me, I kind of listed first. Did you ever grow up watching the Berenstain Bears?
No, but I read a bunch of the books.
Yeah. It's not Berenstain. It's Berenstain Bears.
I would argue it's Berenstain Bears. There's no S in it.
No, I spelled it wrong in the Google Doc, but it's Berenstain Bears. There was a theme song and everything, and this one got me because I remember seeing the book and it being Berenstain Bears or Berenstain Bears. And then when somebody pointed this out in the Mandela effect, I was like, no way. It's Berenstain. It's Berenstain. No. I even went in my kid's room and grabbed one of the books and looked at it, and it's Berenstain Bear. Dolly Parton fucking sang the theme song for it, and it's Berenstain Bear. And I was like, this is wrong. How did I remember this so wrong?
I don't know, but you're good. We got a lot of robot going on with you right now.
I'm so sorry. My internet is unstable. Just like
just like you.
Yeah.
That's okay. We're all crazy here.
Okay. So I'm going to list off a couple other ones and see how you remember these, okay?
All right, let's go.
All right. Did you ever see the movie Shazam?
Or not. There we go.
Did you ever
No,
see
but I've heard about
Shazam?
it. Also heard about the music thing. No, but I've heard about it. Also the music thing on your phone when it tells you the song that's playing.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you got for that one?
Shazam, everybody remembers that there was a comedian that was in that particular film. Now I can't fucking think of the guy's name. This is awful. But Shazam was never a movie. The only movie that there was Kazam with Shaq as the
Yes.
genie. But everybody adamantly remembers the film with this other comedian. And it drove me nuts because I saw a clip on YouTube that was supposedly original footage from Shazam as proof that this actually happened.
Well, if it's on the internet, it has to be true.
Yeah, it drove me crazy. Wait, it's Kazam. Wait, I have to look this up now. I should have had it in my notes. Shazam is the one with the DC guy in it. It's hilarious, but there's like the Kazam thing with Shaq is what I'm trying to talk. Yeah, Shazam was originally thought to be the who the fuck is it? Sinbad was the genie.
Ah, there you go.
I don't remember. I remember Shaq being in some bad movies, but I do not remember him being in that movie. So that one freaked me out a lot too. Okay, I'm gonna get through the list. Have you ever had Jiffy peanut butter?
I'm sure I have.
You have not. It's Jif peanut butter, but people
Oh, yeah, it is.
yeah, a lot of people think it
Yeah.
is Jiffy. I think they just combined Jif and Skippy together.
I like that.
Yeah. All right. Describe what the Monopoly guy looks like.
Oh, he's got a top hat,
And what else?
a suit.
And what else?
He may have a cane. I'm not entirely sure.
A lot of people I'll describe what I thought was the Monopoly guy. He had the hat, he had the mustache, and he had the monocle.
Oh, yeah, he does have a mustache. I forgot about that.
Yeah, doesn't have a monocle though. That's Mr. Peanut has the monocle. The Monopoly
Yes.
guy, no monocle.
No.
All right. How well do you know your Star Wars?
Terribly.
Okay. Well, this one got me. This one freaked me out. One of the popular things is Luke, I am your father.
Yes.
And the film never says Luke. It just says, I am your father.
Interesting.
Yeah. What I think happened there is when you just walk up to somebody and go, I am your father. There's no reference. So the second you start saying Luke in front of it, then you immediately know Star Wars.
Yes.
So I think that's what happened there. But there's another wrongfully remembered thing in Star Wars. So I'm going to ask you, what color is C-3PO?
He's the tall droid, right?
Mm-hmm. What color is he?
I want to say he's like a goldish.
Yep. Even the Halloween costumes has him gold. What I didn't know until I did research for this podcast is that his one leg is actually silver in the original set of Star Wars films.
Interesting.
Yeah, eventually he gets like red added to him in the new set of films, with Rey and shit. And, they had him in a rusty kind of fucked up pre-C-3PO state in episodes 1 through 3. But the ones that we all know, we think he's all gold, and all the Halloween costumes they sell, he's all gold, but he actually has a fucking silver leg. Had no idea. That one freaked me out.
Sounds like you don't have a leg to stand on here.
No. All right. How about, did you do the Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, I've watched that.
All right. Where does Bugs Bunny come from?
Oh, I have no idea.
You don't know the name of the show, the cartoon that it was on?
No, I can't
Looney,
remember.
Looney.
Oh, is it Looney Tunes?
Yeah. How do you spell tunes?
I have no idea.
Most people think it's tunes like cartoons, Toons, but it's actually Looney Tunes like music, Tunes. That one threw me. Okay. You ever see Silence of the Lambs?
No,
Are you shitting me?
no, I've never seen it.
There's a very famous line where the guy is standing there and he goes, or Hannibal Lecter, and he goes, "Hello, Clarice."
Yes.
That never happened. He said, "Good morning,"
Ah,
which fucked me up too because I love that movie. And let's see here. Describe, what does Curious George look like?
he's a monkey.
Uh-huh. Did you realize he didn't have a tail?
No,
I thought he had a tail. Does not fucking have a tail.
that's weird.
Yep. How do you spell Febreze?
Oh, damn, the bottle's turned the wrong way. My storage closet's right over there. I'm like, I can go grab the bottle and find out.
Just try to do it from your memory.
I have no fucking idea.
Most people spell breeze like breeze, Breeze, but in reality, there's only one E. That threw me off too, because I could have swore in my mind's eye that it was Febreze. And if you look at the bottle, there's only one E.
Well, let's find out.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Well, the other one's shoe related.
It is.
Yeah, one E.
One E.
I did not think it was that way. If you would have asked me to spell it on a high school or elementary spelling test, I would have spelled it with two E's. All right. So there is a famous brand of sneakers. All right. The Skechers.
Yes.
Yeah. How do you spell Skechers?
You're asking me to, you're asking the wrong motherfucker to spell things.
Well, when I hear the word Skechers, I think like to sketch. And it's not, it's Skechers. It's there's no T in it. Like to sketch a
Right.
drawing has a T, but in the logo for Skechers sneakers, there is no T. And that threw me for a loop too, because I could have swore there was supposed to be a T in Skechers. Same thing with Fruit Loops. Fruit Loops. I thought it was spelled like fruit. And it's not. It's foot. Like Froot.
Yes, we've covered this on our Weird But True.
Yeah. And then what the my favorite was the Pikachu tail. I thought that Pikachu's tail was black at the end, and it's not. It's only got a little gray or a little brown spot where it attaches to Pikachu's ass. But you want
Little brown tailor over there.
yeah, he's got a little
brown tailor.
Yeah, a little brown spot. But I think because his ears are black, I want his tail to be black, and it's not. Cheez-Its does not have a Z on it. And double stuff Oreos, guess what? Stuff is STUF. That's it. Oh, okay. What's the line from Forrest Gump about the chocolates?
That life is like a box of chocolates. You
Nope.
never know what you're going to get.
Life was like a box of chocolates.
Mm.
How about wait, this one got me too. Evil Queen Snow White. What does she say to the mirror?
I have no idea.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Okay.
But it's not. It's magic mirror on the wall. She never says mirror, mirror. Oh, Mr. Rogers' theme song. How do you sing it?
I couldn't tell you.
You've never seen Mr. Rogers?
I have a shit memory.
You really do, but you pull random songs out of your ass all the time.
Yes, anything from before I was like 6, I have no working memory of.
It's a wonderful day in the neighborhood, a lovely day in the neighborhood. That one.
Okay.
but we all sing it with the. It's actually this neighborhood.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right, last one, I swear. Who helps us prevent forest fires?
Little Smokey.
Yeah, what's his full name?
Smokey Bear, right?
Yep, I thought it was Smokey the Bear.
Nailed it.
Yeah. All right, so when you're looking at the Mandela effect, there's a couple of things going on, so I'm going to try my best to try to explain it. So many people remember things incorrectly that they think that this is proof that our timeline that we're currently in has been altered in some way. So I'm gonna try to tackle this the best way I can. Theory 1 states that there are parallel universes and they're bleeding over into each other, and our memory has not been adapted to correct for the other universe merging with ours, the timelines. That one got me, so I had to look up the possibility of parallel universes to make this even remotely possible. So you got to look at the thing called the multiverse.
Love a good multiverse.
Yeah. So each universe exists with an alternative version of events and an object. And then something's changed and now the timelines are merging. And what sucks is on the podcast previously for past lives, we looked at quantum mechanics. Do you know anything about quantum mechanics?
No,
Oh, yeah, it hurts.
that's way outside my league.
Oh my God, it's math and it hurts, but I'm going to try my best. Okay. The math of quantum mechanics allows for parallel universe theory in real science, and it's called the many worlds interpretation, popularized by Hugh Everett in 1957. And it's basically taking a framework of modern subatomic physics, like we're talking particles, to explain the entire universe around us. And the world as we know it, the universe, everything unfolds through a combination of two separate things. Okay, they're ingredients technically. So the first ingredient is a smooth wave function. Okay. And what happens is there's a mathematical expression that can convey information about a particle in space and time from numerous possibilities for its location and its defining characteristics. The second ingredient is something that realizes that all of these possibilities for its location can only be one, and it eliminates all the others. And this can happen simply by observing the location or trying to measure the location. The second you discover it, I'm going to try. Okay, so they use this thing called the slit test method, where they try to fire two particles through a slit, basically. And they're trying to figure out how to measure the particle's location after it exits the one slit. So it can, it triangulates where the particle lands. So it can either be in one place or another, or it can simultaneously exist in both places. And they've decided that because they cannot exact that there's two places where this particle is or isn't, that we can use that to measure the entire universe that way.
Okay.
The only reason that this is plausible with this particle thing, when the wave function extrapolated for the entire universe, it sucks because what they're doing is actually using a construct of a physical particle that only exists in the math, right? So they're trying to give a physical representation to a mathematical idea, and they cannot physically measure this particle's location even when they run the test. Like there's literally no way to do it. It's the best math that we can do. And the problem is it's not giving us a definitive answer on parallel universes, because the only way to be 100% sure that there is or isn't or are is if our calculations could be 100% accurate, which is impossible because we're humans and we can't even build a computer precise enough to measure this. So this is just our best shot. So the way that this is described is like, okay, the universe is really, really big and it's finite, or it might be infinitely big, right? They can't decide on what it is, but there's a chance that both cases are possibilities. So if it's finite, there's only so many ways matter can arrange itself within an infinite universe. Eventually matter has to repeat itself because there's only so many ways that can arrange itself. So it's going to come out in similar ways. And if the universe is infinitely large, it also allows for this idea of parallel universes. And the best description I could find to wrap anybody's brain around it was from Brian Greene, who wrote The Hidden Reality, Parallel Universes, and Deep Laws of the Cosmos, which I need to get a copy of this book. I've watched three or
Long
four.
fucking title.
It is, but I watched 3 or 4 different lectures on it, and it's fascinating. But he's asking you to think of the universe like a deck of cards. The quote is now if you shuffle the deck, there are just so many orderings that can happen, Green says. If you shuffle the deck enough times, the order will have to repeat. Similarly, with an infinite universe, the only finite number of complexions of matter, in the way in which matter arranges itself has to repeat. So you have the repeats. The glitches are in our memory are equated to software glitches like in the Matrix. And conspiracy theorists are saying, hey, this is the universe converging, like these 2 parallel universes. The other idea is that somebody has traveled back in time, changed something, and there's a ripple effect. And some of us didn't get that ripple effect, so we did not get the modification in our memory for the thing that was changed as a result of, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
yeah.
What do you know about time travel theories?
Not a lot. And this is gonna be another one of those things where it's completely bullshit, but hey, let's play with it anyway, because why not?
Well, there are some famous examples of time travel conspiracies. And these are things that are supposedly evidence that somebody had traveled back in time, has fucked up the timeline, and now we have Mandela effects.
What I do know is the only way to travel through time is with a TARDIS.
Is that the only way?
Yes, you need to steal those from Gallifrey.
TDD from Future Man. They use a TTD to travel to in the that's their time machine in Future Man. Is a TTD.
And then the TARDIS gets damaged and ends up looking like a phone box forever. It's just great. I love
it. I have not watched Doctor Who. I know it's Doctor Who because I briefly dated somebody who made me watch Doctor Who, but then I couldn't even watch it because every time an episode came on, he paused it and had to explain to me the thing. Like what's that thing that lives in the little robot that's like the deadliest thing in the universe?
The Dalek?
Yeah, he paused.
It's actually, the most deadly thing in the universe is actually a cat.
I'm just saying, when the Dalek came on, he had to pause it and explain why it was the most terrifying thing in the universe instead of just letting me watch the episode to find out why it was so terrifying. Because the doctor wound up saying it like 3 minutes later.
Good old doctor. So yes, there have been some famous cases of, we'll call them alleged time travel. If my notes don't stop refreshing themselves, I'm going to throw my phone across the room. Apparently, in one of Charlie Chaplin's films, there is a woman in the background who appears to be talking on a thin black device that appears to be a modern day cell phone.
Fantastic.
Yes. And it was concluded that this woman was possibly a time traveler.
They didn't have another explanation as to what that box could have been.
Well, apparently they put this clip on YouTube, and it has received millions of hits and has been the subject of news stories.
All right, so we're gonna put that on the tweet out.
On the tweet outable.
Yeah, we're gonna have lots of links for this one.
Lots of them. And the last one. You're confusing. You're conflating the two because we're doing them on the same day. And oh my God, it's almost 1 a.m. Jesus
We're almost
Christ.
done.
I hope so.
We are. I got like a page and a half after this.
It's like 17 hours.
I'm sorry I'm long-winded and I like my research.
The most likely answer is that it was some form of portable hearing aid, which was just being developed at the time.
Okay. What else you got?
There's one about the Hipster Bridge opening in 1941.
I saw a YouTube video on this. That's why I was super jazzed when it came up in the research.
Let's see here. What do we got?
The big controversy on this one is the guy is apparently wearing like a t-shirt and it looks like a hoodie, and then he's got these like weird, crazy hipster sunglasses on or something.
He does. I'm looking at the picture, and he does look very out of place.
Yeah, but then there's like that made me question my reality for 5 seconds because we know hipsters, and then I saw that photo, and it really looks like he's somebody that walked right out of Lawrenceville.
Right under that. Pit bulls are the hipster dog of choice.
Pit bulls.
Yes.
So I'm a hipster because I had a pit bull?
I said it's the hipster dog of choice. I didn't say that made you a hipster for having one.
Okay. Correlation, not causation.
Yes. So the guy, like we said, the guy does look really out of place. And mostly, I would say mostly due to the sunglasses,
mm-hmm.
which looks like something that's from today and not really from the 40s. However, these sunglasses did first appear in the 1920s. And apparently he's also wearing a sweater with some sewn on emblems rather than a printed t-shirt, which is the kind of clothing that a sports team would have worn at the time. So up next we have a mobile device in 1943. So, is there a picture for this one included? There is not. It's a picture from 1943, scene showing holiday makers in someplace in, it's in the UK. Okay, it's in Cornwall. Gotcha. Apparently, it was uploaded to Twitter in 2018 by multimedia artist Stuart Humphreys, which was allegedly viewed by some to show a time traveler operating an anachronistic mobile device such as a phone. Tweet was picked up by Fox News. Let's see here. What is it? And there's really nothing there except he was probably just rolling a cigarette.
Wonderful.
Yes. I'd like to see the picture, but like I said, it's not included.
All right. Any other things look interesting to you?
I don't think so.
That's fair.
Unless you have something I missed.
No, I don't.
Unless you have something I missed.
No, I mean, people are claiming to see iPhones and painting from 1860. I think what we do is we take our modern sensibilities and project a little like pareidolia, but instead of faces, it's our technology into the past when there's like a perfectly good reasonable explanation for it. But these conspiracy theorists are using these saying these are examples of legitimate time travel, and this is why we have glitches in our memory, and this is why you're not remembering Fruit Loops being spelled correctly. It's evidence, is what they're saying. Also, people explain Mandela effects as a distortion from the result of spiritual attacks linked to Satan, black magic, or witchcraft. Clearly not scientifically testable on the witchcraft part, so we're just going to leave that one where it lies. So explanations for this. Psychologists describe the disconnection between our memories and reality as confabulation. It describes the disturbance of a memory which can result in the production of a misinterpretive memory, despite contradictory evidence. It may not be intentionally happening. It could be brain damage. Another explanation for the Mandela effect is actually proposed by a neuroscientist. Our tendencies want to believe what others are suggesting to be true. So she's basically saying that this could be something called like groupthink. Do you know what groupthink is?
I've heard of it, but I'm not well versed in it.
Groupthink is where we're social creatures. So if everybody
speak for yourself.
Well, if everybody else is thinking the thing and you know it not to be true, you start to question your own mind because everybody else around you is telling you the misinformation. And you're looking at a modern era where there's an internet. So it's affecting the spread of the Mandela effect because you have things that have been photoshopped to look like how you air quote remember them being, and it's perpetuating this false memory. And that's kind of it. I don't have a lot more on that. It's just kind of, that's where I was hoping to have some sort of like epic think before you accept the reality that is presented to you or some like amazing thing like that. But your memory is not as reliable as you think it is. And I think the Mandela effect is interesting that we have mass amount of people remembering shit wrong. I think that's interesting.
Well, I already know my memory sucks, so I don't actually trust it for anything. That's why Google exists. Other search engines are available.
The C-3PO thing got me. I really thought I knew what C-3PO looked like. I could not believe I was staring at a silver leg. Like, it makes you question your entire sanity. And I got gaslighted a lot in my abusive relationships that made me question my reality. So this just made my memory recall even scarier. I'm like, all right. So that's it. That's all I got.
You're really getting into robot territory voice-wise here. So let's end this before your Wi-Fi shits out.
Fair. All right. You got a weird but true?
I do. There are some Inuit groups that use ridicule in the form of song duels as a means of conflict resolution.
Wait, back up.
It's like battle rap, but from a long time ago.
That's what I was just thinking. I was just thinking of
There's nothing new under the sun, people. It's all been done before.
What's the movie, 8 Mile or whatever?
Yes.
Yep, that's
so.
Mine.
Two men who had failed to resolve a conflict by any other means would secretly compose diversive songs about their adversary. The whole camp would then gather in a large igloo to observe the duel.
That's amazing. Actually,
that is fucking amazing.
We're doing it wrong. We got to fix this.
Courts would be so much less packed if we just did it that way.
Correct. Yes. Okay.
All right.
So we need a non-offensive dare.
47.
47. Also not been picked. You're really good at picking numbers. You're so
fucking
good.
Right.
Okay. Dare number 47 to help you pick out your look, I want yins to win the Patreon dares this month so you can pick out the view party for February. So you still have time to sign up to be a house witch by the 15th so we can all watch Bleach together. But if you win this house points this month, your house gets to pick the next watch party. Okay. So your
All right,
dare
what do we
this
got?
Yep, I'm ready. The dare is to return someone's shopping cart to the store so that they don't have to.
There you go.
Yeah, it's just being nice.
Although maybe not. Maybe we should put that one off for a while.
Oh yeah, COVID. I wrote this list like early.
How about we, instead of somebody's cart, how right, instead of that, we're going to change it to find a stray shopping cart and return it to its home.
There we go. I like that. Thank you. It's sorry.
It's pre-COVID. We get it. That's why we changed it a little bit.
Yeah,
That way we can still do it, but be safe 6 feet apart, people.
You're really good at COVID avoidance. I think
I have been training my whole life for this. Don't leave your house and don't talk to people. I've literally been training for this since I was in college.
All right. Well, you learned it here first. Kev's really good at, if you need tips to keep yourself safe during COVID, you need to tweet him.
Yes, tweet at me. I need friends.
Yeah. Notorious D-U-K? Yes.
All right. It is now 1:05 a.m. and we've been doing this for too long. So same bad time, same bad channel, same bad expired parent coupons coming at you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.